welcome to another edition of Razor's Edge for Rookies. In today's lesson, we're going to take a look at an 8-minute excerpt from one of our beginner level classes titled Understanding Gifts. And this is all about gift types. Now we're going to move on to gift types. Now, what I'm going to do is open up my trusty John Smith record. Any of you that did take Understanding Constituents, you probably know John Smith's record just as well as any record in your own database due to the fact that this guy did everything for us. So I'm going to show you how. Now remember, there's two ways that you can add a gift to records. One is on the gift tabs where you're adding a gift individually. The other is when you're doing it through batch module, and that is sort of a way to enter a lot of gifts much more efficiently, especially if you have a large gift count on a regular basis. So let's take a look real briefly. I'm going to bring my cursor up to the Gifts tab on John's record, and then I'm going to come over to this button where it says New Gift. You see that? Now when I click New Gift, one of the things that I've got to distinguish right off is the gift type. Now you'll see this drop-down window here. You see where it says Cash, Pledge, Stock, Property, Gift in Kind, etc., etc. Well, what I'm going to do is go through what each of these are briefly. So when we're thinking of the various gift types, the first one of our options is cash. Now cash entails, obviously, physical hard cash. Someone comes up and gives you a $100 bill, that's a cash donation. But in Razor's Edge term, cash also equates to personal check, business check. It could also be a money order, a cashier's check, whatever it might be, because it's technically currency. And the third type we commonly see is a credit card, MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express. All of those equate to currency into your bank, all right? So cash would entail all of those. The next type we see is a pledge. And take a guess. If you don't know what a pledge gift is, think about it. And if you guessed a cleaning product, you're wrong. It was a good guess though. A pledge is basically a promise, much like we do a Pledge of Allegiance. Someone says to you, I promise to give you a certain amount of money, whether it is to be paid off over a schedule or a one-time payment is to be determined. Most common of these, you might drive during rush hour traffic and listen to NPR, and every year they do an annual fundraising drive where they're trying to get people to call in and make a pledge. So the pledge is basically, I'm going to pledge a certain amount, and what would end up happening on the gift record is payments would either pay off the pledge or make payments against a pledge, okay? So that's the second type. Now the third that we see on gifts is a stock or property. And this confuses a lot of people due to the fact that it too is currency. So a lot of people think this would equate to a cash gift, but there's one big distinction. When it comes to a stock or a property gift, there is two amounts that you have to contend with. There's the amount that it's worth when it's donated. So for instance, a person gives you a stock certificate and it's worth $100 at the time he gave it to you. Now you, as a recipient of that gift, then have to take steps to liquidate it. Now commonly this is something like having the stock transferred to your own personal bank account, maybe it's a Schwab, Scottrade kind of thing. And in the process of liquidating it, some things might happen. The stock can actually fluctuate in price. It can go up, it can go down, and you usually will incur some sort of expense at liquidating it, whether it's a brokerage fee, a transaction fee of something. In the same way with property. Now property is something that you'll have to pay a realtor, and the property value, you might not get what you asked for or what it appraised for, or you might get more. Now remember, when a person makes a stock or a property donation, they get to write off as their charitable donation the amount that stock or property was worth at the time they donated it. So if I gave you that $100 stock certificate and you took a week before you even had it cashed out, and when you sold it, it was only worth 70, I still get the 100. In the same way, maybe you sold it for 200, I still get the 100, right? So keep in mind, I've seen many organizations try to play speculator. I've seen some where they think, wow, that stock's gonna go up. I read all the charts on Yahoo Finance and I'm gonna hold on to it. Sometimes it works, but on the majority of the time, just a little tip on the side, people don't usually donate stock that's about to go up, okay? So with that said, stock property will usually have two transactions. There'll be one at the time the donation is made, and then you will go back in and do what's called a sell stock or property option. We'll do this in the exercises, don't feel like you got to get to know it now, where we will go in and list things like what the stock was, what the commissions were, and so you will end up as the organization having what's called a realized stock amount or a stock gift, okay? So moving on, another common gift type is what's called a gift in kind. Now, I was a development director for a place that got a lot of these types of gifts in kinds. First is clothing. So if you give to Goodwill or if you give to your local homeless shelter, that's a gift in kind donation. Another type would be food, canned goods. Every Thanksgiving, it seems like the mission where I worked, we would get turkeys beyond count. So that would be, again, gift in kind. Another real common one is a car. Now, this has taken a real big hit over the last couple of years because of the changes in the tax rules regarding donating a vehicle. It used to be a person can donate a vehicle to a nonprofit and be able to write off the Blue Book value. Now they can't. They can only write off whatever the car was sold for. And so this usually is pretty disparaging because the car most nonprofits will be shipped immediately off to a car auction where it will go for bottom dollar. So it has really had a negative effect on nonprofit groups. Hopefully you're not one of them. But that it's being a car, it is still a gift in kind donation. Now here's another one that's common that a lot of people have trouble with. A gift of art. Now when it comes to art, you get somebody walks in and he hands you a painting and says, this was painted by my mother, so it's worth $20,000. Well, I would highly recommend to you to not get yourself stuck in the role of appraiser. What I mean by that is you will give a thank you letter to whoever it is who gives you a gift in kind donation, and you say thank you for your gift of, and name it, but don't put a value. You let them deal with the value, because the last thing you want to do is be called in to have to explain your appraising skills. All right. Now, one other thing too, if somebody does give you a gift in kind donation of something like a gift certificate, like I give you a $100 gift certificate to a restaurant, yes, in that case, go ahead, by all means, put a dollar amount in it. If I give you a plane ticket that has a face value on it, yes, by all means. But if it's an arbitrary sort of speculative cost that's associated with it, leave no dollar amount on it. Just leave it as a gift in kind donation where you're thanking them for whatever it was. Let them declare the value. Just a real helpful tip. Trust me, you'll thank me if you ever got stuck in that jam. All right, let's move on. The last real different kind of gift type in there is a planned gift. Now this won't even show up on most of your systems unless you have purchased the planned gift module. And the reason I'm putting it in there, a lot of people don't know the planned gift module is separate. So if you have this option under gift type on your system, it means that you have this module. If not, well, you get to see what it is anyway. So a planned gift basically means we're sort of hoping you're going to die. I say that with all jest. And that picture, by the way, is Audie Murphy's tombstone. So pretty cool if you know who Audie Murphy is. They made a lot of movies about him in World War II. So now a planned gift also has a number of what we call vehicles. And the first of them is a bequest. Someone leaves you something when they die. You have things like gift annuities. Now these are becoming very, very popular in fundraising circles because it's actually, in a bad economy, a real big investment tool, especially for people who are in their elder years who don't have heirs. The other one is remainder trusts. And I'm only touching on a handful to give you a tab. And the last would be life insurance. Someone has a life insurance policy out and names you as a beneficiary. Okay, so that is the various gift types.